Just Psycho here. So I'm gonna be doing some album reviews, you know, and just back to back. I got several in the chamber, so this one and then another one coming right after. So Choker, if you don't know who Choker is, he is a 30-year-old artist, rapper, singer, songwriter, and recording producer from Detroit, Michigan. Choker, who has been around back then since 2018. And I believe the album that he released last in 2018 was called um, I think Heavenly Blue or something like that. I think that's what the album was called, and it's been a while since I listened to that joint. So, but this is his third. This is his third album, his third studio album, off the record label called Jet Fuse, or excuse me, Jet Fuzz. And yeah, Choker is definitely an artist that is not for the faint of heart. He mixes a lot of rap and soul and psychedelic rock, and I really like the R and also R&B fusion as well in here. And it goes without saying on this record. This is 8 years since his last project, back in 2018. So I cannot wait to really dive into detail. So getting into the album, we start off with the record Geppetto, and really he's just kind of really getting into more or less. And truth be told, I didn't really know what he was gonna entail by the record. Hold on, let me get okay. There we go. Yeah, I didn't know what he was gonna really entail by the meaning of the record, and when he kind of just starts out going crazy on this, where he says, outsourcing healing for a bit, looking around, these tenants don't fit along. All along, my resolve been falling. Swear sometimes I'm an alien. Ads on the screen like a small thing terminal. Ain't much longer left when you count it. Even Geppetto ain't playing the nose. It's never problems with what you planning for. I sigh out, Gelato, vacant and sedated. Now I kind of pick up a meaning when he says even Geppetto ain't playing a nose. It's never problems what you planning for. It's kind of like the story of a wood carving. So I think he was pretty much applying the Pinocchio line and wood carving. Applying it more so with him. And I think kind of like it's more of a preference for the Pinocchio, like the actual movie, and of course the actual character, and also can apply to things in life and solely of the waking and of an awakening, excuse me. So when I heard that record and when I kind of like recycled the line, I'm thinking like, man, where is he gonna go with this? Because this is just very, very cold. And I like the fact he plays off of that, and I think he also plays off of his own personal life and applying it more so to a way of feeling like Chappelle, like you feeling like your nose gets longer, your nose gets bigger, depending on like the things that you told you living your life, maybe living a lie, your life maybe living in false truths, false advocacies. So that's what I thought that what he means by that line and by the meaning of the song, which I thought was pretty cool and pretty intriguing, man. I really was enjoying that part of the record. I also like the line in here where he says, the same muzzling calling the peasants and the rich for prayer. That line was really, really cold. When I heard that line, I was like, yo, he's really, really speaking some truth right here. And I also like the next lines after it where he says, multi-layered check for saviors. Check for saviors. I believe I'm drawing blanks and starring craters on the floorboards, starring craters in the floor into the floorboards, which I thought was crazy. So he basically is talking about like wealth, financial wealth provides an illusion protection against life's hardship, but face the same challenges. Of course, we're talking about grief, pain, loss, and all these different things. So a great intro to start out the album, and I really enjoyed the messaging and the meaning behind it. Was really, really started a point. And I always say before, when you get into an album, your first record's always got to be the point that really just hits home, and it really did hit home for me when I heard it. Let's go into more. Uh, let's get into. Cause I also like tracks 3 and 4, Heaven Ain't Sold and Universal Circus. But Heaven Ain't Soul. Let's get this one. I really like this. I really like these lines here. Count your confessions in one hand. Close eyes. This is on your face. No disguise. I ain't trying to do you wrong. I ain't picking at your flaws. You assume I was gone. I made time for you, dog. I made time. I ain't checking for you, all right. I'm just checking. No hands. No hands. Everything going away so too fast. Don't nobody owe you. Heaven ain't sold on letting us in. Heaven ain't sold on letting us in. Penny worth more than $1 to him. If it don't make sense, it's the product of sin. Why you gossiping? Tea only hot as the wind allows. Oh, hey, what's going on? One and the only, entitled 8288. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. I was just going over this R&B and hip hop artist named Choker, from Detroit. He had dropped this album, Heaven Ain't Soul, back a couple of months ago. I mean, back a month or so ago. So I'm just going over the album. So anyways, like I was saying, yeah, I really like these lines here. Where he says, "Why you gossiping? Tea only hot as the wind allows. Penny worth been $1 a seam. It don't make sense as a product of sin." We already heard those kind of quotes before, but I like the way how he kind of puts it in and really adds to it as a way of applying more so to a rough patch in life. Sometimes we pretty much all sin. We pretty much all become a product of our own environment, but in a way where some can lead us to really could lead us into trouble and danger, but then also others can lead it to really more of a lighthearted, more positive mind. I really like the way he puts that in there. So a really, really good lines and a really, really dope song. Getting into the album, those are like some of my favorite lines on the album as I was replaying it on there because it really just hits me. It really hits home. And then Universal Circus is the next song that I really enjoyed. I get into the actual song. And I really like these lines. Trying to feed a fantasy, trying to be the man they see. I get money offered from the city. I got gravity. I got gravity. Why I can't admit it? Being humble is a pity. Cause. Yeah, I really just like the way he just sets it off. Really just sets it off in there. And then he pretty much hope ain't left my granny face. My good long as granny safe. I get the money offered from my city, offered from your city. I got gravity. So he pretty much is talking about protecting his family, protecting his grandmother and everything. That pretty much is what meaning into his life because in his last album he also talks about relative families, including his grandmother, that really means important to him. So I'm glad he pretty much is going into detail about it. I even like the chorus in here where he says, They don't give a chip for no sportsmanship. Get a bag and get some land for my bloodline. Just a couple of acres dodge when the floods cry. I'ma see you later. Promise that it'll come by. I really want to hate you, but I can't get past the things you've done for me. Can't get past the things you've done for me. So pretty much is wrapping around his own life, life expectations and his whole life going into it. Why he took such time off. Life was just like an emotional roller coaster, and hence why it calls the record like a circus. Universal like a circus. So I really like the way he just puts it together with the record. Really puts together in the track. So yeah, dope song, man. Let's go into another one of my favorite songs. Oh, here we're gonna probably get this at the last one, and that is Blue Soul, track 10. That's my last favorite song on this album. Only 11 songs, and it's only like 38 minutes runtime. Very short, it's very short and sweet to the point. But Blue Soul is my last favorite song on here before I go into detail about the record. So yeah, I'm nothing but a ghost now, nothing but a ghost now. Stepping into the flames, arrayed beneath the dojo. Yeah, 18's room assault when the snow blow. Talking about that blue soul. Black Swede, blue soul. Some shoes ain't for you though. Some ish you can't control, some things you can't outgrow. I've been there before. Oh, I be tired of everybody. I know how to disappear. Know how to push it down the well. Know how to push it down too well. Know how to push it down too well. too OD. This all for me. No need to console me. I feel like Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali. I get going. I wish I had more time to kill. I wish I had more time. If I never let you go, where's my new beginning? I need a little peace of mind and take a little mixture ammunition because I don't feel like conversation. No, I can't keep this up. Pretty much Blue Soul is like another play on like I feel like Blue Soul is like a plan is more of like a play on just his own moral compass, more high ground, and more psychosis. I thought that was pretty cool, pretty creative the way he was playing on that. And I feel like with I feel like with the record, he pretty much what I like the line where he says, I know how to disappear," talking about him just withdrawing from certain areas and certain aspects of life that really kind of feel like was getting in the way. So according to what Genius was saying, and it says pretty much it's become for him a withdrawal. Reaching out to someone feels like a bigger effort than simply stepping back and isolating himself, making disappearing almost a second nature. So it's pretty much in this record, Blue Soul, like he's just feeling much of crying out for help, reaching out to his friends, reaching out to somebody that was really close, that he felt like it was close to him. But when he says the line in that record, he kind of just feel like wanting to more isolate himself, feel like not be affiliated with people who don't really feel like they encapsulate or really feel like they have their best interest in them, man. So yeah, a really good song, solid record, and overall with this album, I picked up so many different messages and themes, just from the title track and also just from Blue Soul, Raytown, Uneven, Universal Circus, and even Geppetto. Just like how he plays on different like references from different like cartoons and shows, but at the same time applying it to certain life lessons, moral compass, higher values, a more high ground, and just thinking of a way where you can apply and adapt certain things like families, taking care of your family, being there for your relatives, when you don't have people that's there for you to really help them out. And then also dealing with the industry, dealing with things in the industry and outside the industry, and having to move away from fake friends, people that don't have your best interests. I picked up a lot of themes from those things in this album. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really creative and really, forthtelling and forthcoming. And this is definitely worth the 8-year wait. I'm glad that he made an album like this out, and I'm definitely going to continue to listen to him more to pick up more certain things off of this record. So yeah, really solid project. I give it 3 stars out of 4. Please check it out. You're going to be learning a lot of different things, a lot of different things, a lot of different messages in here. And you'll definitely pick up on a lot of things moving forward. So yeah, those are my thoughts, man. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. I'm out.